Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your Sunday. We also have your Boredom Busters coming up, but first, our top story. Authorities in Rapid City are investigating a weekend shooting at the Central States Fair. It happened last night in the parking lot of the Pennington County Fairgrounds. Officers found a juvenile male who was taken to the hospital with serious, non-life-threatening injuries. Police say they've detained several people as part of their investigation into what led up to the shooting. However, they say the people involved knew each other and that the shooting was not random. Dozens of police and sheriff's deputies were working the area at the time of the shooting and were able to respond quickly to the scene. If you have any information about this shooting, you're asked to call Rapid City Police at 605-394-4131. Police posted a statement overnight that reads, "We and the Pennington County Sheriff's Office remain committed to ensuring violent incidents like this one have no place at the Central States Fair." It's been a busy weekend for first responders in Lincoln County who were called to the scene of separate crashes that involved injuries. Authorities ticketed a 15-year-old boy for reckless driving following a rollover Friday night east of Harrisburg. Investigators say he lost control of his SUV at a curve before entering a ditch and rolling several times. The boy received minor injuries. And we're learning new information about a crash that shut down traffic on Highway 11 southeast of Sioux Falls. Investigators say a car and an SUV were involved in a T-bone collision at an intersection Friday night. One of the three people involved in the crash was airlifted to the hospital. The South Dakota Highway Patrol arrested the 39-year-old driver of the SUV for DUI, vehicular battery, reckless driving, and failure to stop at a stop sign. A motorcyclist from Sioux Falls has serious injuries following a weekend crash. It happened early Saturday afternoon in the area of 16th and Kiwanis. Police say the 25-year-old man lost control of his Harley that jumped a curb and crashed. Police say he was not wearing a helmet. Investigators say speed does not appear to be a factor in the crash. A back-to-school fair in Sioux Falls Saturday went a long way toward helping families who can't afford essentials to begin the new school year. Volunteers handed out free items including socks, underwear, and school supplies at Faith Lutheran Church.
We know that if kids feel like they're part of our community and they have the things they need to get back to school, it helps them have a more successful school year.
The volunteers served around 750 kids at the back-to-school fair. Let's take our first look at the forecast now with meteorologist Brian Karstens in the Storm Center. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Perry. Good morning, everybody. We're tracking some thunderstorms today out there. Some of these have been locally heavy, so continue to be mindful of that on your Storm Tracker app. Temperatures at 90, Sioux Falls, 93, Mitchell, 95, and Winter, 89. In Rapid City. And again, some storm cells can be possible in many spots, but obviously a lot of heat and humidity in between the storms. That's a quick look at weather. We'll detail the rest of the forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right. Thank you very much, Brian. The new Jacobson Plaza is drawing more families to an area of downtown that might not have otherwise been a recreation option before. We caught up with Darla Utley's three grandchildren enjoying a morning at the playground. This was the Utley's first visit to the plaza, and they were impressed by all the amenities.
Very, very nice. I mean, professionally done. A lot of options.
The Utleys capped off their visit to Jacobson Plaza with a trip across the street to Mary's Mountain Cookies. I'll tell you how nearby businesses like this cookie shop are profiting from the plaza in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND at 10. Fair season is in full swing across South Dakota. The Central States Fair in Rapid City includes carnival rides, a Texas Longhorn World Qualifying Show at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, a Kids Zone starting at 1 p.m., and PRC Extreme Bronc Finals at 7 o'clock. The fair runs through next Saturday. It's the final day of the Brown County Fair in Aberdeen. Hours at 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Activities include a Paul Bunyan Lumberjack Show at 2 o'clock. Other late summer traditions in South Dakota include riverboat days in Yankton, plus threshing bees in both Rossold and Sturgis. Brick Falls is a Lego building competition in the pickleball court at Remedy Brewing Company in Sioux Falls. The event starts at 11:45. Admission is $10 for adults and $5 for children. The Heartland Country Corn Maze along Highway 11 southeast of Harrisburg is open for another season. Find your way through the 11-acre life-size maze in the shape of a rabbit from noon to 5. And sprint car racing returns to Huset Speedway in Brandon. Gates open at 5, hot laps at 6:30, and the races start at 7:30. Tickets are $20 for adults and $10 for students and free for ages 12 and up. Brian?
All right, our forecast here, Perry, as we go into today. Hot afternoon, high around 90 Sioux Falls. It's going to be 93 in Mitchell, 95 in Winter. So we'll be tracking those thunderstorm chances as well. Let's go to radar coverage from the overnight. You can see these thunderstorms in a few different patches, and where they have traveled, they sure have been strong to severe here in the north central, the parts of southwest Minnesota, some flash flooding in and around Marshall into the south, and of course cells will continue to pop up today. Storm Prediction Center continues to highlight a marginal risk of severe weather. So at least the good news here is we're not expecting organized damaging storms. We expect pockets of severe weather possible here and there, but also in training some hefty rainfall where that humidity depth is pretty high in the southeast especially. I think that this afternoon, any thunderstorms that pop up in this air mass will be producing those locally heavy rains. There is that scattered chance late in the afternoon around Sioux Falls, and then there's actually a better chance tonight. I think the organization of those coming in from the west will be there. So if you're in a spot that needs some rain, this is probably a good chance to get that. Otherwise, once this blows through tomorrow morning, most of KELOLAND will turn dry through midday tomorrow, and then eventually we'll end up with some storms in western South Dakota here for Monday afternoon, a possibility. A lot of 80s. Looks like our weather trends into midweek will continue 80-degree weather, and overall it looks like for Sioux Falls and Aberdeen at least a little drier forecast too the next few days. 90 again for Sioux Falls and Spencer. We're about 90 degrees in Pierre. Your 7-day forecast. We're not calling for much rain chance now for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. In fact, we'll see if we hold the line on that through the rest of the week. Temperatures will be better. Overnight lows will be better. Not as humid in the forecast. Lows are in the 60s. Aberdeen in the northeast, 81 tomorrow. That's a little bit cooler. 83 on Tuesday, 86 degrees on Wednesday. 88 on Thursday. And it looks like the numbers here into central South Dakota will warm up. 90 in Pierre on Tuesday, 93 Wednesday. And at this point, thunderstorm chances look to hold on a little longer for Rapid City. We want to make sure we address that tomorrow. We'll see if the rest of the week ends up staying dry. There could be a couple of thunderstorms in our region, but right now with those temperatures climbing back to 97 on Wednesday, that is hot afternoon. Looks like maybe some rain chances this weekend. All right, that's your forecast. More details at KELOLAND.com.